What's up, guys? Do you like Groot? I like Groot. Let me show you how to Groot. Groot's Thornlash walls will attack anything you or an ally attacks in the near vicinity. And this can be your primary attack, your melee, or your alternate fire. They do have a cooldown on them, however, so just spamming attacks into them won't make them whip everything at the rate that you're attacking your opponent. It still doesn't mean you shouldn't beat the ever-living shit out of everyone in front of you. A primary part of your combo kit should become putting up a wall behind your opponent and then throwing a primary fire and your alternate fire at them. Groot's Ironwood wall is on his E and it grants bonus health to Groot whenever nearby enemies take damage. By pressing shift twice or whatever button the Thornlash walls are bound to, you can angle them, you can also stack them, or you can build them onto your Ironwood wall. Basically play Fortnite with it if you want to and give yourself a nice little head glitch. You can also get up to high places. Groot's Wombo combo is to build two walls behind your opponents, yeet your ult at them, and then throw your auto attack and your seed at them. Then follow up with a few melees if they aren't dead yet. Usually does the trick. So here's some ranked gameplay. This is a gold 2 lobby. I'm currently plat 2, gonna keep going until I'm GM. And hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips to get there as well. One thing to note about Doctor Strange is if he's that low, just walk up and punch him. Your punches will go through his shield no matter what. And if you need to finish off Strange, or if you're a melee character and you see a Strange putting up his shield and he doesn't have a huge backline behind him, go wail on him a little bit. A core part of Groot's playstyle is just isolating opponents and basically taking the advantage fight. Play the numbers game. Like here, this Thor is basically cut off from his entire team right now, and both of his closest escapes are cut off. Thankfully for him, his team does figure out how to path through him, but he was dead there if they didn't. And despite the fact that we build walls, we're still going to play around cover because we want our cooldowns to be up when it really matters, when we can get the isolated fight. I know it might be tempting to just build a fort in front of your opponents, but you need your cooldowns to be up so you can do stuff like this. And then take them down as quickly. As soon as that isolated fight is over, take them down so you get the cooldowns back quicker. You allow your teammates to keep shooting at your opponents. There's another example of his combo. You build the wall behind them. It didn't get a kill there, but dealt good damage and forced her to back off. Build the wall behind them, throw your seed at them, throw up primary attack. We're building off cover here. We're still using cover to our advantage. Some problems that you're going to run into, though, are Punisher, Iron Man, Squirrel Girl, Moon Knight, spammy characters. The ones that can just keep throwing damage downrange are actually going to be an issue for your character. So if you struggle, if you're building walls and they go down as soon as you make them, swap to Magneto. That is my best advice, unfortunately, as a Groot main. But on the other hand, the strength of this character is he can solo tank. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I am the only tank on my team. Sometimes it's just going to be that way. Sometimes you'll have 3 DPS. Sometimes you might have 4 DPS. People do be locking DPS out here. Let me know about it in the comments. And one thing to note about DPS players is the sniper type characters, specifically like Hella mains, will get very angry at you pretty quickly for building walls and keeping your team alive. I say fuck them because they hotluck those characters anyway and just roll on with it. Keep building walls in their sight lines. If it means you isolate a team fight and you get an easy fight, just ping the character until they shoot at them. And then you should remove your walls once you win that isolated fight, like I said before. So you can remove the walls if they're salty in the moment, whatever. If they miss out on one pick, it doesn't matter as long as you're getting your team focused on the people in front of you. Take out the tanks, take out the healers. Those are the primary targets usually. If you have a flanker, you can turn on them, and you'll see that every once in a while here in the gameplay is if a flanker pushes up as well, just build a wall, a massive wall to make them have to work for it to actually push into you, and just turn and fight, help your team take out that flanker. Black Panther, Magic, Psylocke, and Spider-Man are the ones that come to mind, but all of them do have their own way of getting out. Typically, if they're diving your backline, though, those cooldowns are usually up, so you should still try and build a wall and turn on them. One thing I like to do with his ult is look for a squishy backline to yeet it into, and then I got knocked into the wall a little bit there, so I screwed up. building the wall, but you try and basically hit them with the ult and then build one wall behind them and then throw your seed into them in an auto attack, and that will basically delete any healer or DPS. Don't do it into tanks. They'll live through it, especially if they're getting healing. But you can absolutely delete a backline with him, and that's who I think you should prioritize hitting with your ult over tanks. And again, get weird with his ramps, honestly. Just find weird angles where you can position yourself where they're probably not expecting it. You are sort of an ambush character, in my opinion. So you're looking to come in out of nowhere and build walls. So we cut that Magneto off. We've created a huge bottleneck for their team to have to push through. So they can either choose to shoot at the wall, in which case my DPS should win the trade because they're not being shot at. Or they can try and push through this narrow gap and make my DPS's job super easy by basically creating a kill funnel. Here, we're putting walls behind him whenever we can to cut off his healing and add that little bit of chip damage. It's not a lot of damage that comes off the wall, but it adds up, especially the more you proc it on them. And one thing to make that easier is if you try and build, if you get pushed by a flanker, you can try and sandwich them in between walls to make it incredibly hard for them to escape. I'm going to skip ahead to the end of this match where we're still just chilling on point. We haven't really pushed up too far. Flankers are there's too many ways for the team to push around you, especially good teams. There's not a whole lot of geometry on this map you can break, but a lot of the maps have stuff you can just basically make your own hole through now. So you really do need to be on point against good teams. Here we know we're not going to kill Luna in her ult, so we're just going to build walls, basically use all our cooldowns to build a massive wall and cut her off from the rest of her team, and then once her ult is over, we can get an easy kill. And meanwhile, her team is basically struggling, trickling in, and allowing us to take a very advantageous fight and secure the point. And that is what I've learned playing Groot for 10 hours now. There's still a lot to learn, obviously, and I'm going to keep going. I might make another guide like this at 50 hours. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what I could be doing better. I really appreciate it. Till next time, stay frosty.